Hello, my fellow fans of Dungeons & Dragons, and welcome back to Neverwinter Nights, The Shadows of Undrentide. Alright, so last time we started our delve into an Elven crypt, where I'm sure to pick up a bunch of evil points once I start looting dead bodies, but I did have to pick up a couple of things and then sell them off at the shop. Mostly it was those sets of chainmail that were too heavy to carry. But while I was in town, I figured I'd come to Drogon's lab, and we have an item. Leave the table alone. Oops, I meant to click on the grinder. We have an item we picked up in one of the abandoned houses, and it's these green spores. And we picked those out on the outskirts where we found the halfling's deck. And so if we combine the spores and a quartz crystal, we get a ring. And I can't identify it, but it's a ring of disease resistance, and so it helps us not take disease damage. I also used a focus crystal, so I'm going to go ahead and make another one of those, just so I can easily get back to the crypt. So now we'll head downstairs. We'll talk to the Elven Harper and have her teleport us back to outside of the crypt. So I am thankful that there is still a mechanic that lets you come back to home base pretty easily and get back to where you were at.
Have you any news of the artifacts?
No, nothing yet. Is there something else I can help you with then? Can you teleport me somewhere? I need to go to the last place I used the ring. And yes, I want to. And she's just telling you that if you haven't cleared out all the bad guys there, their dangers would still be there. But I teleported in an area where there were no bad guys, so we're right out here. Another thing we can do, as I'm heading back down into the deep crypts, is we were told by the ghost on the next level that there was an item. And let us go here. Alright, so this is a puzzle room. The treasure is here. The first thing I know I need to do is tell Dorna to stay. And then let us read the sign. Safe becomes death, and death becomes safe when one has what he desires. Okay, so the hint here is you can see a scorch mark on one of these squares. So, what's different about this square and any of the others are these little laser beams. So, you can safely walk across these. Sorry for the sound, it is quite horrendous. You also want to pay attention to these lasers, because here in a second, grab this cloak, they disappear. So, even if you memorized your way back along this path, you can't go along that path anymore. It's danger. So, as long as you remember that these were also lit up at one time, you can cross these. You can also look at this. It appears that someone failed the test and wrote a short note in their own blood. Damnable elves, death awaits on path. Should have walked on the other. Apparently he died before he could finish. Alright. So yeah, that's just telling you not to go back the way you came. But you are perfectly safe to go here. Be very careful in that area. And hey, that got me enough experience to level up. So we'll have Dorna follow us again. And this time, I think what we're going to do is go one monk to every 2 sorcerer levels. So I'll go ahead and take a second sorcerer level. Okay, I can't use appraise. We can put craft armor. And, like I said, in this game, unlike the last one, I might actually use craft armor to make my armors look different. So I kind of enjoy doing that later on. And that leaves me with 3 remaining skill points. I'll hold on to those for the next time I take Monk, which will be next level. And I get a feat. Okay, so one of the better feats to take at this point is probably spell penetration, just so my spells can get through spell resistance, but we don't have to worry about that immediately. I don't want to take something like deflect arrows or anything that's like combat-y, because I'm pretty sure the monks get some more combat feats later on. I think what I do want to take, though, is combat casting. And the character is adept at casting spells in combat and does not suffer the standard -4 penalty to concentration checks when casting defensively within 4 meters of an enemy. So at some point I might try doing casting defensively, but we'll take that because it is likely I will be in fights when I need to cast spells. Okay, we'll keep our first level spells. Oh yeah, I do have a panther animal companion. I don't specifically want to summon my animal companion, or my familiar, I should say. It just kind of soaks up the experience, although I could get something like a pseudo-dragon, which is fun, or a what's called an eyeball, but they're really goths. Or maybe some mephits. Those would be kind of cool. But again, this is also a game where if your familiar dies, you take a huge chunk of damage. So for now, yeah, I think I'm going to actually... Okay. Yeah, for now, I think I'm going to leave it on Ice Mephit, and if I have the need to summon a familiar, I will have it.
Indeed.
Okay. And Dorna should have also leveled up a little bit. I can take a look at her. One of the cool things about companions in this game, if I haven't gone over it already, is you can go into their inventory and change stuff around. Also, they can carry things for you, so Dorna's kind of a pack mule for me. And also, I want to examine her. She is a 2nd level rogue, 1st level cleric. So, she can do a little bit of healing, which is good. And more importantly, she can get rid of traps and unlock doors that I can't get into. Alright, so now we're back into the meat of this crypt. And there are a couple of things over here that I wanted to take advantage of, but I didn't have the hit points before. So if you disturb the bones, you can grab whatever treasure they have, but it summons a skeleton. Now, skeletons are pretty easy. I have a good weapon to fight them with, and if the treasure's usually worth it, I'll take it. A gold piece is a gold piece. Also, like I said, the really good thing about this for me is I tend to do the good thing when it comes to making choices for quests and things. So this area helps me gain a little bit of evil because I feel corrupted, stealing from the dead. Okay, there was a kobold running away, and skeletons just screwed me up because they got all the experience. Like any good sorcerer, just run in with a flame. You know, technically speaking, I am a monk. I actually don't need this monster. Just punch it. There we go. I can't believe I forgot that. That'll be worth well, that's a death. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and respawn because I was stupid and I wasn't paying attention to my hit points. Dorna has taken care of the skeleton for me. I have lost, I think, 150 XP, so there's that. Not fun. Actually, I think I've lost less because I don't think this knocks me down a level, so... Alright, let's talk to Ayala.
Have you any news of the...
Can you teleport me somewhere? The spot where I died. Yes, I'm ready. Okay, so I'm going to try not to do that again. I'm going to pay attention to my hit points. And we're going to keep stealing. Okay, Dorna's a little less effective in these fights just because she has only bladed weapons. Actually, with that being said, I was talking about how I can alter the equipment, right? Let's get her to use a blunt weapon as well. That way she'll be doing enough damage. Ooh, a two-bladed sword that I can't use. And amazingly, the skeleton still had the two-bladed sword. Okay. Alright, so I think for today, we're going to go ahead and explore these areas here. And I'll probably get to where the kobolds are barricaded today. So, well, let's see. Alright, so in this case, there's two items here. If you take one item, the skeleton appears and the other item disappears. I think the mace is worth more than a gold piece, so I'm going to take that. Somehow, that skeleton had a glaive that I couldn't steal. Hey, 4 gold pieces. Oh no. I know some of them. The other item disappears and you can't pick it. But I guess this one I'll be able to pick up. Oh, rats. Don't want to start another fight with a skeleton while we have rats.
My steel will strike true.
By the blood of the old father!
Okay. That's a pretty good fight, and as you can see, that extra level has worked very well for both Dorna and I, and our ability to hit rats. Okay. I think this one, this pile of bones specifically, you only get one item from. So I'm going to take the magic ring. Okay, I am running away from the spear. There we go. And again, I was mistaken. I just remember a lot of times getting screwed out of that ring. And maybe if you don't kill it, or if you take something other than the ring doesn't appear in the pile of bodies. But I do remember that ring disappearing every time I didn't take it, so... the two-bladed sword again... Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and drink a potion before I start this fight, though. I don't specifically expect to need to use the arrows, but since there's 100 there, they're also worth a gold piece. When we sell them. So, go ahead and pick that up. Okay, still doing pretty good. That's a quarter staff. That's not really worth it. Because I'm pretty sure I can't sell it. I'm trying to see. What is my alignment like? Right. Okay. I'm still doing okay on the corrupted side of things. Okay, I'll go ahead and take the silver ring just in case. But there are remains. Come over here, Dorna, so I can grab that. Excellent. Gold pieces. Okay. And that is the end of the skeletons in the hallway. Nice chunk of experience for us. And we're already back up to 3260. Okay, so we have a locked door here. Dorna will unlock it for me. Okay, and now we have sarcophagi. Okay, let's open her up, see what's inside. A pair of magic gloves and some gold. Okay, if I do this, I'm pretty sure I summon another incorporeal undead, so this might be a fight, especially since I don't have any spells because I haven't rested yet. Need to take care of that. In fact, I'm going to try and take care of that right now. Because I don't want to fight incorporeal undead without having spells. Alright, so I'm going to rest, and I'll see you guys in just a minute. Okay, all done resting, so let's open this crypt up and see what we have inside.
I have to lighten this load.
Okay, we have warrior spirit, and we'll let Dorna get in there. I'm gonna hit it with some magic missiles. And maybe an acid splash. Okay, so we've already got it hurt pretty bad. If it takes a couple of minutes, I'll probably hit it with another acid splash or something. The thing hit me as wisdom. The movement speed is decreased because I have too many two-bladed swords. Thinking about that, Dorna, would you mind carrying some of this heavier stuff for me? Please. Give me a sword, give me an armor, and give me another sword. And go ahead and carry 3 swords. Alright, so when we get back to town, we'll sell that off. Go ahead and grab 13 gold, and we shall move on. I'm not worried, again, at this point, I'm not worried about my wisdom necessarily, so we'll just leave that as it is.
Hold on here.
Okay, another sarcophagus in this room. Okay, I'm not seeing a trap on it, so go ahead and open it. That has a sleep scroll. Well, it's worth something, so. Let Dorna engage for a moment. Hit it with a couple of spells to kind of soften her up. Okay, and then we get in flanking position. Dorna has also had her wisdom decreased, but for her that is much more important because she is a cleric. Okay. Back up, and okay, she's killed it again. I was about to hit it with another spell, but she took care of it. I don't think there was anything else in here. Oh, but the ghost remains. Another gold piece. Awesome. Alright. And we have one final room on this wing. Although, this one isn't a fight. Instead, we have a spirit, and the spirit needs some help.
Wrenched from the darkness of death, where has it gone? Can feel it close. So close, yet gone.
Who are you?
Oh, you're different from the last one, but you have nothing to take from me. Not anymore. Ye someday is all but forgotten. Now I am defiled.
What was stolen from you?
So many years have I rested. How long? But always did my sword rest in the place of honor. Now gone. I can feel it. Near.
Do you want me to find it?
Yes, there will be reward. Bring it back. Then I rest.
I'll be going then.
I await your return.
Alright, so he wants a sword, and thankfully there is a sword later in the dungeon. But first, I have to deal with a kobold ambush. So, I hit one of them with a magic missile spell, taking care of him. Hopefully this time I won't just run out and get pelted in the head with crossbow bolts. Okay, there's two. Dorna's engaged with one of them. Okay, and one more. Take his longsword because he doesn't need it anymore. And I have no idea why that kobold had a longsword. Oops. Misclicked. Sorry about that. Grab some gold. And some more stuff that will be turned into gold shortly. Okay. Moving on, we have another wing here, and as you can see, there are plenty of bones to be defiled. But first, I think I should deal with the skeletons. Oh hey, she actually turned undead, and it did something. Okay, one more fearful skeleton. Okay, so then we're gonna just tour this area, stealing from the dead.
We won't both walk away from this.
Okay, I took a hit there, so we're gonna potion him. I think there was something in this alcove. Yep. So we're gonna steal from this. Hopefully I'll be able to get the rest of those items. Dorna took a pretty hefty hit there. Yep, okay. good. Lots of gold. Need lots of gold. The gold that I'm getting here is insignificant to the amount of gold that I'm going to need by the end of Shadows of Undrentide. Or, not Shadows of Undrentide, Hordes of the Underdark. And we'll be continuing the same character across both games. So. Okay, take the hit again. I'll go ahead and use one of my healing kits here. Couple more bones to beat up on. And I guess my lure skill did go up too. I might want to check to see if I know if any of these magical items are magical or not. Okay. Take that topaz. It's good to know I can just punch down a skeleton and be done with it. Okay, so this is where the kobolds are barricaded, and we'll have to come over here in a minute. First, I would like to open this door, and this is another hallway with a bunch of bones that I can defile.
Fall before me!
Don't want to trigger anything while we have a fight. Dorna's getting some sneak attacks in, which is good. Getting some punching in, which is also good. Stomp there. Okay. Now that the dangerous rats are taken care of, go ahead and keep waking up these skeletons. Because I don't know no better. Also, I want to be a Pale Master. So I need to make sure that my alignment is kind of low. Okay, that was a bad hit by that skeleton, but we'll take a potion. And I will tell Dorna to handle said trap.
Hold on here.
Okay, so the reason you come down here, other than defiling the dead, is to grab this ancient sword. And that is for the spirit. There's a lot of stuff in here. Go ahead and take that. And it looks like I'm going to be making Dorna hold a suited chain now.
I have to lighten this load. I have to lighten this load.
Okay, now Dorna's encumbered, but that's not nearly as problematic. And technically speaking, as a dwarf, she shouldn't even be affected by encumbrance yet either, but it's probably just difficult to program that exception. Well, at the time it would have been difficult. I am actually getting pretty close to being encumbered myself. How many hit points do I have? 9 out of 16. Okay, should be able to get one hit if I need to. And one more, I think, bones.
I have to lighten this load.
Okay, and Dorna gets the final strike. But that doesn't really matter because we are a team. Here, hold this. Teammate. Alright, so the spirit told me about a secret room. But first, there's 3 gold pieces there. Take it. Okay.
I think this may be just the thing.
Alright, here is the secret door. And inside, there is a number of things that we want.
I have to lighten this load.
The best thing in this room is this +1 longbow, which I can't use. But it can be sold for a good price. The other thing we need are these stupid helmets. Excuse me. And give one to Dorna. Just put it on. I'm going to put the stupid helmet on. And I'm going to use this floor lever that primes the trap. And then, I think this is where I'm going to call it for today. We got through most of the crypt, and now we just have to deal with the barricaded kobolds. There are 2 ways you can take this on, and they do affect the story, actually, later on. So, it's kind of an interesting take if you take more of the diplomatic approach, or if you just beat the crap out of some kobolds. I'm probably just going to beat the crap out of some kobolds, because they have some really cool gear that I want to take, and hell, I don't care. I'm just a hero, kicking in doors, taking names, beating ass. So, alright guys, with that, thank you for joining me as always. I will probably, between episodes, go back to town and sell off all the crap. So, once again, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time on Neverwinter Nights, Shadows of Undrentide.